Have you ever wondered how the United States of America got its name? It's a name we say daily, on our money, in our pledge, in our national songs. America. A word so powerful, so wrapped in history, that it feels like it's always been there. But it hasn't. And the story of how this name came to define not just a country, but an entire continent, is stranger, and more emotional, than you might think. Let's take a journey back through time, across oceans and empires, maps and myths, ambition and exploration, to uncover how America came to be. The world before America. Before America was even imagined, the world had no idea a vast landmass lay across the Atlantic Ocean. To most Europeans in the 15th century, the known world was a blend of Europe, parts of Africa, and a slice of Asia. The seas were filled more with monsters and myths than navigational certainty. And then came the age of exploration. Driven by a hunger for wealth, conquest, and conversion, European powers launched expeditions into the unknown. The Portuguese sailed down the African coast. The Spanish, under the banner of Castile, looked west. And in 1492, a Genoese sailor named Christopher Columbus changed the course of history. Columbus and the wrong name. Columbus didn't set out to discover a new world. He wanted to find a new route to the riches of Asia. When he landed in the Caribbean, he believed he'd found the edge of India, hence the misnaming of the native peoples as Indians. But here's the twist. Columbus never knew he'd discovered a new continent. He died believing he'd skirted the edges of Asia. So if Columbus didn't know, and he certainly didn't call it America, then where did the name come from? This is where our story takes a surprising turn. The Forgotten Navigator. While Columbus was gaining glory and royal favor, another Italian navigator was quietly rewriting the world map. His name was Amerigo Vespucci. Vespucci, born in Florence, was no explorer at first. He was a merchant and map enthusiast. But his curiosity and connections got him onto voyages to the New World in the late 1490s, possibly sailing for both Spain and Portugal. Unlike Columbus, Vespucci came to a revolutionary conclusion. The lands he visited weren't Asia at all. They were something entirely different. A New World. A letter that changed history. In 1503, a letter titled Mundus Novus, Latin for New World, was published under Vespucci's name. In it, he described lands so vast, so different from Asia, that they must belong to a previously unknown continent. This bold claim, written in vivid detail and distributed widely across Europe, captured imaginations like wildfire. Vespucci was saying what Columbus never did. These lands were not part of the old world. And just like that, a new continent needed a name. The German cartographer. In 1507, in the quiet town of Saint-Dié in France, a group of scholars and mapmakers gathered under the patronage of Duke René II. Among them was a German cartographer named Martin Waldseemüller. Inspired by Vespucci's writings, Waldseemüller and his team created a new world map, one that for the first time separated the New World from Asia. And in bold letters, across the southern continent, they placed a single word: America. In the accompanying book, Cosmographiae Introductio, the authors explained their reasoning. I see no reason why anyone should justly object to calling this part America, after Amerigo, the discoverer. A name that stuck. Waldseemüller's map was revolutionary. Only about 1,000 copies were printed, and for centuries it was thought lost. But its impact was immediate. The name, America, began appearing on maps throughout Europe. Curiously, Waldseemüller later seemed to regret the naming, and in later maps he removed America and credited Columbus instead. But by then, it was too late. The name had caught on. And as the northern continent was explored and colonized, the name spread. Eventually, it came to refer not just to South America, where Vespucci had mainly explored, but to the entire landmass, north and south. And later still, one nation would claim the name for itself: the United States of America. Fast forward to 1776. 13 British colonies in North America declare independence. They needed a new identity, something grand, something defining. They chose the United States of America. But why? Part of it was geographic. The term America was already in widespread use to describe the land. But more than that, it was aspirational. The founders wanted to link themselves to a powerful idea, a new world, a place of rebirth, unbound by European monarchies or histories. Calling the new nation America made a statement to the world. It was no longer just a place. It was an idea, a hope, and perhaps even a destiny. The emotional weight of a name. Let's pause here and reflect. We often take names for granted. But names carry weight. They shape identity. They forge connections. They are vessels of memory and meaning. For Native peoples, America is a name layered with grief and erasure. Their lands were renamed, their histories overwritten. For enslaved Africans, America was a place of suffering, but also eventual struggle and resistance. For immigrants, America became a beacon, a name whispered across oceans, stitched into dreams. For millions today, America is both promise and paradox. All from a name that was never meant to be. The power of myth. Here's the haunting part. Amerigo Vespucci might never have written those letters himself. Some scholars believe they were ghostwritten or even forged. Others argue Vespucci was more of a PR genius than a true explorer, but it doesn't matter. Because the myth had taken root. The maps were drawn. The textbooks printed. The name cemented. In a way, America isn't just a name, it's a legend. It's a story we tell ourselves about discovery, identity, and destiny. And like all stories, it's not always true. But it is powerful. So what does it mean to live in America? It means carrying centuries of exploration, ambition, conquest, and hope. It means honoring the people who were here first. It means questioning the myths we've inherited and rewriting the ones we tell ourselves today. It means recognizing that a name is never just a name. It's a mirror, a compass, a memory. When we say America, we invoke a history written in saltwater and blood, in ink and fire, in the dreams of cartographers and revolutionaries. We invoke everything we are, and everything we still hope to be. The next time you say the word America, pause for a moment. Feel the centuries echo behind it. The explorers, the nameless, the hopeful, the fallen. Because America is more than a name. It's a story. And now, you know how that story began.